Hey, good morning. It's Lady J. Um, this has taken a couple of days to get back to um, this topic, and it's because I've been busy doing some other things. I apologize for that, and but I was incredibly tickled. I had run across a video of somebody I thought would be like totally cool to have like verbal discussions with, because if we don't discuss, we don't learn. Um, and she asked me and everybody actually to give topics, and we all do that because we all want to give our take on topics. Um, and I had asked, what is, because it's important to me to help young people coming up and to talk to them. And so the question was, what do you see the major differences are within the older and younger communities? Um, and it got around to um, leaving legacy and having promise. Sorry about that. And I thought that was really cool, and I appreciate that analogy and that thought process, because that's really true. When we're younger, we're looking at what is the promise, what do we have to look forward to, where are we going, and at a certain point in our lives, whether that be 35, 37, 40, 50, or 60 or above, we look back and say, what has been our legacy? Um, so that was really cool, and that's really a good way to look at things, I think, and I appreciate that so much. I really do. Um, there was a couple of things that came up that I went over in my head, and I thought, wow, there was a lot of meat and substance to the response that I got to that video, and I do appreciate that sarcasm. I really do. Because you brought up things that are near and dear to my heart, in that I've spent my whole life working towards equality and the things that you're talking about. So hopefully I've left some legacy at some point in time. I happen to be one of those who got very confused in her sexuality when she was younger, and got married to a man, and I have children, and I'm really glad, even though I know I've been a lesbian my whole life. Um, so hopefully the legacy I'm leaving to them, well, to them I know, and hopefully because of that they'll pass it on to other people, is that it's really okay to be who you are. Um, and you're so right. Regardless of those labels, we should not be looking at people with labels. But unfortunately, we do. I mean, we label everything. We label peanut butter. We label chocolate bars. We label we label each other. I mean, a doctor wouldn't want to be called a lawyer. Um, we label painters, poets, writers, actors, um, engineers. We have labels. We carry labels. It's not. It's just semantics. It's just words. And the reason that I use labels, and that I have learned, because I was like you, I was like adamant. Oh my gosh, I was so adamant against labels. Um, is out of respect. Labels, like I said, are just semantics. They just describe a behavior. Yes, at the end of the day, you're right. They're just going to look at us as we are all gays. In my case, not so much, because I have a label on me, and I am labeled a femme. And because I'm a femme, it's often overlooked within the community and without the community. I mean, I can go to Walmart and nobody looks at me and goes, there's that femme. I mean, they just don't do that. It's a good and a bad thing. I don't like to be invisible. I'm very proud of who I am. Very proud that I'm a lesbian. I'm very proud that I'm gay. And I can wear that generic label with just crap loads of pride, and will march for it. It took my kids when they were little to all kinds of stuff, had t-shirts made, I love my two mommies, the whole bit. So I can go there. But out of respect, I use those labels. So you don't have to call me femme, because it doesn't matter to me. It does matter to some other people. And it matters to other people that they're identified the way that they choose to be identified. Just as you choose to be identified as who you are, a beautiful black female, and or handsome black female, or however you choose to be identified. So out of respect is why I do labels. It's really pretty much that simple. I mean, crap, you know, I had a whole list of stuff to do here, you know, on the topic. And I just again want to say your video was just really right on spot, and I really enjoyed it. I hope, and I'm like you, I would hope that the generation coming up could make that transition. And I love the way you put this between the legacy and the promise. I hope that the young generation coming up could move more from what's been promised to what am I going to leave. I mean, even at 18, you can know how it felt to be gay or lesbian at 8. And so, you know, you can do a promise, and you can look at yourself and say, you know, the people that came before me, the people that stood at Stonewall, the women that fought for voter rights, the women's right movement, the, you know, equal pay in the workplace people, the things that are still going on today, gay marriage, all of those things, they're all really important, and I'm sure there's more things that are going to come up that are equally important. We just have to keep that in mind. So even young folks can do that. But most important, I think that us older generation can't forget that even though we've done certain things and have maybe already started to establish our legacy, that it's not finished, that we have to keep going. And even until we're 80 or 90 or however long that we get to stay here on this planet, that every day is a day that we can add to our legacy. Okay, that's why I use those labels. It's just a matter of respect. That's it. This is Lady J, and the way I always sign off is, whoever you are and wherever you are, I love you right where you're at. I'm out of here.